Hey everybody, just getting into my tablet so I can find everything. Little warning. So I was putting my tablet or my phone up on the stand to do the video today, and the whole thing fell. So if I don't see it, and my phone, what is this? This is not, drives me nuts. I hate sale format. Oh, there we go. There we go. But the whole thing started to fall. So if my phone starts to, you start seeing my tablet instead of this, let me know. Because that means the whole thing is falling down. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So this will tell you how old this card is. I still like to do simple cards like this. But look at this. He's all warped and he's completely discolored. But I told you guys last week how I layered the whole thing up. And so I was hoping you guys could maybe see all the layers and stuff in there. So you can see how many, like his little hat is layered, his face is layered, this thing is layered, his little wings. I mean, like the whole thing is just, I printed out a whole bunch of these and just layered them all up. So it really was a whole heck of a lot of fun. So I'm going to wait just a couple minutes, see if anybody joins me today. I'm hoping that you will, because he is a super cute little guy. We're not going to be using a whole lot of markers and stuff for him, but he is super cute. So like I said, it's not a whole lot of markers, but he's so cute and he's so easy and just so much fun. So I didn't even open it to see if there was any chitty chats or not. Anybody saying hello? So I'm gonna go ahead and, Alexa, what time is it?
It's 3:03 p.m.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I'm sure you guys are really busy as it is a Tuesday afternoon. So I'm gonna start with this part, the orange parts, his little pants, his wings, and then around here, okay? So I'm going to use YR27, YR24, YR16, and YR12. I'm going to start out with number YR24 though. Okay. Hey Susan, how are you, sweetheart? So I'm just going to start. One of the things that I really love about Mitzi's stamps is that she puts in a whole heck of a lot of the details with the black lines that really helps with shading or where to put the different colors that you're using, you know, if you want it darker or lighter, anything like that. So I really love all of her art. And I mean, not just the sprites are that way, but even when she does like humans and stuff like that, it's still just, or even the mermaids and stuff that she does, it's all really just so detailed. I just love it. So I'm just going from the inside and going out, and I'm just going all the way around. I'm not going to do right here because his little foofy on his head, which I don't even remember coloring. Oh, I guess I did. I stuck it on the very back layer. His foofy on his head, you're not going to see this color behind that. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn him around and keep turning. I'm not focused in a whole heck of a lot just because, well, I don't know, can you guys, I think you guys can see this part really well. What do you think, Susan? Can you see it pretty good? Or do you want me to, zoom in? Zoom in. Hey, Roxanne, how are you, sweetheart? Hope you're doing well. Haven't seen you in a little while. Ooh, this is gonna throw up all over my paper. Can you see how blobby it got? There we go. When your lines start to become a little extra thick, thicker than normal, that is when it's getting ready to throw up all over your paper. Thank you, Susan. Okay, so I've gotten all the way around there, but I'm also going to do his little wee bloomers and his little arms. So I'm going to go ahead and just come out like this. Come around the front. Okay, excellent. Thank you, Susan. Here we go. Come around the sides on this side. And then I'm going to flip him upside down. And I'm just going to get in those lines. I'm actually going behind the line, so closest to his wing. And then I'm going to do the outside on this side. And then we'll do the same on this one. And I'm just going to bring, actually I'm going to bring that up just a little bit more, because I don't want the YR27 to swallow that up. Here we go. And then bring him down. And we'll just do right underneath his chest. Hi, Priscilla. How are you, sweetheart? So just getting underneath his chest there. And there we go. So now I'm going to put the YR24 away, and I'm going to go with the YR16. So we're basically just going to do the same thing. This class is going to be so boring because we're just going to go round and round in circles. But you can see, now that I'm going a little bit faster, you can see just how fast it is to really actually color this guy, because you're just coloring his feathers around in a circle, and it doesn't take that much to color him, not until you get into this business. Once you get into his hair, you know, his chest hairs, and then this ruffly stuff back here, then it's a little bit more. So right here, I'm going to go into his little foofy on his head. And I'm not going all the way back into the 24. I'm only going about halfway into the YR24, because I don't want the YR16 to swallow it all up. There we go. See, look at how fast that is after you get that one little bit done. Now I'm going to do the same thing with his arms. I'm going to come out about halfway out of the YR24. Not going all the way back in, because we don't want to lose the 24. Here we go. And it's nice because in these little tiny spots, I have him printed out at 3.5 inches. And so in this, these little tiny spots, it's nice because you don't need a whole lot of markers to get the look that you're going for. Hey, Corinna. That's okay. I understand you have meetings. Work sucks. I'm sorry. So here we go. We're going to do the YR24 or the YR12. We're going to do the same thing, but I'm only going in about halfway from the 16. And if you go into this section right here, don't worry about it because we're going to be coloring that darker anyways. So just go ahead and have fun with it. So here we go, almost done with this part. And then we're going to go ahead and fill the rest of this in as well. And then we will start our color building with the YR27 as soon as we get that done. Here we go. He's so cute. I just love him. Okay, and he is almost done. There we go. So now we want to use the YR27, and this is where we're going to start building our color and start doing the contrast. So we want to put in those shadows with this and really make this stand out. Here we go. So now you can see with this YR27 that this really stands out and you can really make it look fantastic. It's one thing I love about building my color instead of just, you know, just leaving it as is. I like to go in and redo stuff. Oh, and remember when I told you guys when we very first started, like like a year ago, that with Copic markers you can still go in, watch this. I colored this 7 years ago, but watch. It does not matter how long you step away from your project. When everybody's like, no, don't let it dry, don't let it dry. They're crazy. You can let it dry. This has been dried for 7 years. And look at this. Still blending, still looks great, nothing wrong with it. And it's still moving the colors around. So whoever's telling you, oh, make sure it stays wet or it won't blend, they're crazy. Straight up crazy. So, and I'm really sorry if you guys can hear my noisy rabbits in the background for some reason. Every time I'm doing a video, they decide to just have a heyday and go crazy and binky everywhere. But I guess I should be thankful for that because then that means that they're happy. Here we go. And just peach. Hold on just a second, sorry. No, ma'am. You know, girl. I'm telling you guys right now, having bunnies is like having toddlers. Miss Peach is always getting in trouble lately. Crazy rabbit. She likes to, I keep my silicone pad for like embossing with stencils and stuff up, but she will pull it down and she'll try to chew on it, which obviously I think we all know that rabbits cannot chew on that stuff and eat that stuff with a favorable outcome. So yeah, she's just being a turkey. She's in her terrible twos. So now I'm just like pulling in a little bit of the YR27, just kind of randomly from the outside in to really make those feathers have a little bit more depth. Now I'll go ahead and get around his little tummy or his chest here. Go around just a little and not right up to the line there. Okay. Have a good day, Corinna. Okay. Here we go. There we are. And then right around this way. And we're just going to get right in here, and because that's going to be dark right there from the shadowing. Here we go. Get around the other side of his bloomers and then get the rest of his little feathers over here. And again, not going all the way around to the edge, just right to the end. Does anybody need me to zoom in or anything? Let me know, okay? So I'm using YR24. And I'm just kind of pulling that 727 out a little more so that we can have some shading. Kind of making the sun just be right at his face. So like just right down at his face. So a lot of the shading is going to come from behind him instead of from each side. So we'll put a little bit up here by his little hair thing. And then after this, I'm actually going to, after I pull out this YR27, I'm actually going to give it a rest. I'm not going to use the other colors anymore. This will be it for this part of his feathers. There we go. Next, I think we will tackle his feet. Then isn't this nice? It's so easy. And Susan, it's not hair, so it's super easy. There's no hair except for this foofy, but we don't really, it's so tiny, there's nothing you can do with the foofy. So I'm going to get rid of those colors. Now I'm just going to do his feet really fast because I think that'll be fast and easy, and his beak because that's the same color. So I'm going to use Y26, Y21, and YR23. So I'm going to start out with Y26 first. I know it seems odd because I'm going straight to the darkest, but I'm going to build some color so you'll see what I'm doing. So I'm just getting the middle of his beak there, and then I don't even know what that is called. If Jacqueline was here, she'd know what it was called. So I'm going to go ahead and get his little legs. Thank you. I'm so happy you like them, sweetheart. And then we're just going to get a little bit of his feet here. And I'm just dotting, like seriously, just dotting that in. Okay. Get this a little bit more. Now I'm going to use YR23. And it looks like it's darker than the 21, or the 26, but it's really not. It just makes the 26 look a little bit darker. So here we go. And we're doing the same thing, just dotting it in where the shadows would be. And now we're going to finish it all out with Y21, which there's not much to finish out because Let's face it, the area is not very big at all. So here we go. Okay, so there's that. That's taken care of. So we still have his face, and I actually want to do his face before I do any of the brown or the red, because if I mess up, it'll pull that brown into his face. So I'm going to do his face first. Here we go. And we're going to start out with, you guys know what we're starting out with, E11. I just love this guy. He's so cute. There's him, and then there's a little, she also made like a little corn on the cob. And he's just like sitting there. He's so cute. I just love him. Okay, get around that beak, because the sun's coming straight at him so that it'll have light or shadows on all sides. And then get in his ears, just the underneath part in the center. And then I'm going to do his wee little nose. There we go. And then he needs his neck. And we're going to do E04 next. And we're going to do E04 all the way around the top of his little hat. Even underneath the beak. And we're going to do right here underneath his little neck. And then right just a little bit in his ears. And then back to the E11 so that we can kind of smooth that out so it's not so harsh. Here we go. Then I'm going to go ahead, I'm not going to do R20, but I am going to do a little bit of R30. It's supposed to be a boy sprite, but with him being a sprite, I always tend to give him little rosy cheeks no matter what. Just because they're so darn cute. I gotta. Then we're going to use E21. And we're not going to go all the way into the E11. Here we go. Get his ears a little bit. And then we'll get a little bit of his nose. And then I'm going to finish him out with E00. Finish out his ears. And just smooth out the lines and fill him in. Fill in his little neck. There we go. He's so cute. Let's see, now for the rest of him, leave your E21 out. We're going to use E21, 23, 25, and 29. So the 29, you're going to love. It's so easy. The 29 is just going to be these little lines right here. And I want you to scribble the lines just like they are. All we're doing is going right over the lines, and I'm literally just, that's all I'm doing, is just going right around on the lines. Easy peasy. This is probably the easiest thing we've ever done, is this right here. There we go. I love this. Just scribble, scribble, scribble. Oh, you know what? We are going to go back to the yellows. I forgot to do his foofy on his head. There we go. And that is done. How awesome is that? So now the hard stuff. You're going to hate this. Please don't hate me forever. So we're going to go in just in all the little marks of his feather, just where it creases. So right in those little spots, we're just going to put a little dot of the E29. Okay. And we're just going to put a little dot. And if you look at it, you can already see that the feathers are already looking like they're moving forward because you're putting that little dot right there. Gives them some shading. Now we're not gonna, when we get down to the end, it's gonna get a little tighter, but that's okay. Just put the dots where you think they need to go because you can't see all of it. And then we're also going to do that right here. And right here. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to leave it alone for now. Hang on 2 seconds. I need to lock up this girl. Come here. I am so sorry that these two are being so absolutely naughty today. Susan, yes. You can do that, and you can do a whole lot more. So now we're going to go to E25. And we're just going to pull out just a little bit. We're going to pull out this E29. Just a little bit. And then when you see these little crevices right here, go ahead and pull it out a little bit more. Okay, but if it doesn't go all the way back, well, I guess so. I guess we could. There we go. But just pull it out just a tiny bit. But again, we're just doing the same thing. Susan, you can do the same thing as the lines. Just go ahead and scribble, scribble, scribble. I love this. Now you guys know why I love this little guy. He's so easy to do. He looks like he's got a huge, like, oh my gosh, it would be so hard to color him and everything, but it's really, really not. So nice. When you don't have rabbits loose, it's actually relaxing. Here we go. Pull that out a little. Okay, so now we're just going to go ahead and go around his neck a wee bit. Okay, just dots. That's all I was doing, just dots. And then we're just going to pull that. I'm just dotting in underneath where I left the dots at. I'm just putting little dots and filling this in a little bit. But since it's so small, it's literally just little tiny dots. That's all I'm doing. Here we go. And again, and if you mess up and you color one too much, that's okay. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to put some back here. And then I'm going to pull these out just a little bit. Make sure you leave some white. We'll get to his head after we do this. This is the more daunting part. And the head will just be so relaxing once we get this part done. So I'm just going to save that part because it's so easy. Susan, you might love me after that. After doing his little hat. Here we go. Put some back here. Okay, so now we're going to do E23, and guess what we're doing? We're doing the same thing, but I'm going to start on this end. I'm getting tired of going in a circle. So again, just putting little tiny dots everywhere. Make sure you leave a little bit of white. After I do this part, I'll show you what I mean by like leave a little white. So that he's got a little white there. Let me pull this out. So if I switch over to E21, after I do all that, you can just blend it all together. You don't have to pay attention. You don't have to make dots or anything like that, because doing this will pull all the colors out and just blend everything really, really nice. See, isn't that fun? So now I'm going to go ahead. Now, if you don't want it this light, look, you can still go over it and it still be a little bit lighter, but not as light. Even if you did this, see, look, it's still not as light. You can still see the contrast. And this is E23, but there's still contrast there because you went over it first with the E21. So you're building that color and you're really getting in there to just build the color and make it a little lighter, changing the colors. It's really fun. It's nice. That's the nice thing about Copic. Here we go. Oops, I almost forgot to do around the feathers. I was so excited. Here we go. So I'm just going to go out to almost the tip, but not quite. See how I'm just leaving a little bit of space? That'll be for the E21. And if you go a little bit too far, it's okay, because remember the E21 is just going to be our highlight. It's not going to be our contrast color or anything like that. And just like these, the brown part of the feathers, you don't have to go back and build color if you don't want to, because Mitzi's gone in there and done all those black lines and everything. So kind of the contrast is already built in, unless you really want to go do it. Which sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. It just depends on my mood, to be quite honest. So now I'm just going to go ahead, go around the outside with my E21. Here we go. And just blend that E21. I'm actually going in instead of pulling the dark colors out. I'm actually going into the dark colors with the E21. Okay, and since I'm coloring, I am going out of the lines just a little bit, but since I'm going to be cutting this out, fussy cut, it won't be that big of a deal. So there's his outer feathers. Now I can do these feathers, and these ones, again, you can either leave them the way they are, you can pull everything out with the E21. You can do whatever you wish to do. So now if you decided that you wanted to make this stand out even more, you could always just go through and go like this, but I personally don't like that. So I'm just going to take my E23 and kind of blend that out. Now, if you like it, you are more than welcome to it. So now we just have his little head with his eyes and his little dingle thing. I really don't know what those are even called. So I'm going to go ahead and start with whoa, not 29, 27. Here we go. And I'm just going to start from this side. And go this way a little. There we go. And then I'm going to go from the other side and bring that in. Or that was E25. Where's my 27? I thought I was using 27 this whole time. Oh my goodness. E27. No wonder things looked a little weird. I was grabbing the wrong pen. Oh my gosh. So I'm sorry if I was saying the wrong thing and you guys were confused. So here's my E27. Goodness gracious. Just gonna go ahead and get behind his little neck here. Make that stand out a little more. Since I thought I was using E27, oh my gosh. And then you can come down here with the E27 and make these stand out a little bit more as well, if you want to. Here we go. At least my phone hasn't started to fall down like it did before I started. Thought my whole stand was broken. Okay. So let's see what that would. There we go. That looks a little bit more normal. Goodness, can't believe I did that. Oops. Now I'm trying to use I need to put that E29 away. Oh my gosh. So here's, I'm just using E25 so you guys can see the color built up the way it was supposed to be built up. Holy mac and cheese. Here we go. Now some E25. I'm going to go around his little eye. There we go. Gosh, no wonder. I was like, this looks really light. I wonder why it looks so much more lighter this year. Psh. Now I know why. There we go. And then if I pull this out, that looks more normal than that. I can tell you right now. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and go back since we're almost done. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just do his little foofy really fast and his little, what is that called? Does anybody know what the heck that thing is? Ah. So I'm going to use R29 and just go on the outside there. And then I'm going to use R17 and then R05. Okay, so that part is done, and then we'll do his little foofer, his little foofy. So that I'm just going to use the same color as his feet and his beak. So R26, R21, and YR23. Did I just say YR26? Oh my gosh. Y26. And I'm not even coloring it like hair. I'm just coloring it. So YR23. And Y21. I really do know what I'm talking about most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time, I promise you guys. So let's go back to a gut. Yeah, I know it's something with the G, but I have no idea what that thing is called. Alexa, what is the red thing on a turkey's face called? Maybe she'll know.
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the red fleshy bits hanging off turkey's beaks are called snoods, not to be confused with wattles. When a male turkey is strutting, the snood engorges with blood and extends to hang down over the
Oh,
head.
okay, Alexa, stop. That sounds disgusting. So it's a snood. That's kind of funny. Makes him sound snooty. So just pulling this out. And this would still be R20, or, oh my gosh, what is with me and the R's? That would still be E29. I'm just pulling this out a little. Here we go. Oh, that's okay. You were at work, Angela. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Here we go. We are almost done. So there is the 27. Now I'm going to go ahead and use 23 to pull out the 27. Here we go. And that's E23, not R23. Oh my gosh, I can't believe me. Here we go. He is almost done. He's so cute. I love this little guy. Oh, it's a wattle. I guess it can't. Alexa said it was a wattle, but it was a snood. And that when they strut, they fill up with blood or something like that. I don't know. Gross. And there we go. There's our little guy. So, but I do tend to trust Google a little bit more than what's her face. I can't say her name or she'll wake up again and want to tell me what was going on. But I do trust Google a little bit more because whenever we ask stuff, it's normally, I don't know that. So, yeah, I trust Google more. But there we go. And I hope you guys like him. I hope you enjoy him, especially if you guys got him. Now, so this is printed out at 3.5. This is printed out at 3. If you guys are going to use him for cards or anything like that. So this is printed out at 3 and this is 3.5. So I hope you guys really enjoyed him. And next week I will see you for... What will I see you for? I will see you with the oak girl. That's right, the little oak tree. Let's see. This little girl. So we'll do her next Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Okay? So I will see you guys next week. I hope you have a beautiful week and a weekend. And see you later. Love you guys. Bye.